Hello guys, I hope everyone is doing okay. So in today's topic we're going to be covering the NAT and the OpenSSH. But before we go through this, I would like to mention something. As you know guys, one of our teachers used to say us a lesson learned should be a lesson shared. So with regards to every new technology, in order to get a better understanding, you have guys to start understanding or figuring out what is the problem that exists in real life scenarios. And the second thing is that what kind of solution does this technology brings us. And the third thing is that how can you implement this technology. And the last stage is troubleshooting stage. So yeah, let's start. As I mentioned earlier, what's the problem in real life scenarios? How can multiple devices within private network can connect to the internet with only one IP address? So this is when the NAT took place. The NAT is used to connect multiple computers in small private network to the internet using single IP address, which is obviously provided by the internet service provider. So the NAT basically is a feature which is included in Windows Server. For example, in our case, I've used Windows Server 2016 and RRAS. This one stands for Routing and Remote Access Service. Yeah. So now comes the stage of implementation. This NAT server uses network interface. You see, the NAT server uses the network interface connected to the internet to process requests from internal computers by keeping track of IP address and the port number that routed from private network to the internet or vice versa. So in the first task, we will be installing the RRAS on our gateway. You see, this is the router or the gateway or whatever device that enable the NAT service. And second part, we'll be talking about how can the OpenSSH be installed. So basically, an OpenSSH is like a port forwarding, which is like a process of redirecting communication request from one IP address and port number to another, so and vice versa. And to make it clear for you guys, like I would say OpenSSH is like a client and server of SSH protocol. And yeah, so in our first task, we'll be installing SSHD on our server and then enable it. And then comes the stage where we have to play around the firewall, where we need to modify and the firewall and allow the connection of SSH to pass through. And yeah, and then I'm not sure, but probably I will provide like short video to verify the SSH connectivity between the client and the server. Yeah, so basically our client is going to be the Windows 10 and our server is going to be plub DM and something. Yeah, let me just check it on my computer to make things clear. Yeah, it's going to be plub DM01. That one is going to be the server where we're going to be installing the the SSHD and everything. And the PC which we'll be working on is going to be plub Win 10. Yeah, Windows 10. So yeah, let's give this a shot and hopefully everything will work out well.
Hey y'all, listen, last night I was out with some of the cats in the band and we were having a good time. You know, we had this little blackjack game going on, you know what I mean? And I somehow got lucky. And every time I tried to leave, they kept yelling at me. You know, they want to get their money back. So I stayed there until I had all of it. And you know, friend, I was so excited. I just left there and I started whistling to myself. Oh man, I'm thinking when I get home, my woman gonna be so glad to see me. I know she gonna open the door and she gonna open her arms, and I know she gonna open. I was wrong as hell. I tell you right now, she was waiting on me all right in the middle of the living room floor. I couldn't believe what was happening. The woman went crazy. She stopped yelling and screaming at me, talking about,
Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more.
yeah.
Don't you come back no more.
I didn't quite understand it at first, you know what I mean?
Hit the road, Jack.
Yeah.
Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack.
Oh, no.
Don't you come back no more.
Oh, woman, don't treat me so mean. You're the meanest old woman that I've ever seen. I guess if you said so, I'm gonna have to take my things and go.
That's right, hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road,
Oh, baby.
don't you come back no more.
Now, baby, listen, baby, don't you treat me this way. I'll be back on my feet someday.
Don't care if you do, cause it's understood. You ain't got no money, you're just in your
Oh, I
wood.
guess if you say so, I'm gonna have to pack my things and go.
That's right, hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road,
Oh, baby.
don't you come back no more.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby.
Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road,
Oh,
Jack.
mama.
Don't you come back no more.
What you say?
Don't you come back no more.
You can't mean that.
Don't you come back no more.
After all I sacrificed,
Don't you come back.
after all you put me through,
Don't you come back no
you will have to learn to tell me to my face.
Come back no
Now, you're making me mad here now, woman.
Don't you come back.
I don't think you know who you're talking to.
Don't you come back.
I don't have to take that kind of talk from nobody.
Don't you come back no more.
Say what?
Don't you come
Yeah, I
back.
know it's your house, but there's no reason for you to keep telling
Don't
me
you
that.
come back no.
Say what?
Don't you come
I
back.
dare you to say it again.
Don't you come back.
What?
Don't you come back.
Are you jive?
Don't you come back no more.
Every time I sing this song,